A lot of people always ask us who we ran into, and there's tons and tons of people in the book who we ran into. But one interesting one that ended pretty darn sad was a Colombo guy, Nicky Black, great, great guy. When we literally ran into him, he was, I believe, a made guy later on a capo. But here's what happened: our guys were hanging out in Brooklyn. Once in a while, we thought, that'd be a good thing to do. Baldo and Chester were out there, the guys that eventually did the big work with us with Galante. They hung out there a lot. So we naturally want to hang out with them. But Tommy noticed that we're in Brooklyn every single time the night's going to end in a fight, sometimes death and shootings and stupidity. And Tommy's like, why don't we just freaking hang out in Nassau and Suffolk and once in a while Queens? There's no headaches out there. And we took that advice. But here's what happened to us that could have turned bad. Our guys, as normal, like a lot of other people, drunk out of their minds, running around. One of our guys pushed the guy, and it's detailed in the book, and into a guy who turned out to be Nicky Black, who ends up on the floor, flat on his back. And his people are there, and I'm telling you, they're strapped, and a couple of them making the move, and they're looking like they want to kill us. And Tommy ran over talking to Nicky Black. Nicky Black had never officially been introduced to Tommy and his people, but he knew exactly who they were. Because when you're in those clubs, you need to know who's there. Is it a friend? Is it an enemy? What's going on? So Nicky Black basically told him, he goes, no, I know exactly who you guys are. I know this is an accident. And he told this guy, stand down. Don't worry about it. It's an accident. At the same time, a Gambino soldier who later went on to be a capo and even higher, Jackie D'Amico, and this is all detailed in the book, ran right over because he knew that, us and the young guys, we were with, John, and he apologized like crazy, like we were doing. And at that time, he had, since he knew both sides, he introduced him. He did the official introductions that we talk about in the rules between us maniacs and Nicky Black. And Nicky Black made it so clear. He said, there is no problem here. There was nothing malicious. They didn't know what was going on. They had no idea what was in back of them. It was a complete and total accident. And he even joked about it, and it's detailed in the book later with John. John's like, yeah, I heard you met some of my guys. And Nicky's like, yeah, I bumped into them, joking around and being a clown about it. But again, great reputation, nice as could be to us. And sadly, for us, because this guy was so nice to us, he ended up becoming a victim in the Colombo Wars at the hands of basically a guy we talk about in the book at length, Gregory Scarpa and Larry Mazza are the ones that killed him. They killed Nicky Black. And when we had heard about that, we were all sad because the guy was nothing but a gentleman to us. Just another victim in the insane, senseless, off-the-wall Colombo Wars when Vic Arena couldn't be happy enough to say, oh, they think so highly of me. They want me to be an acting boss. He wanted to keep it permanently. Great decision, Vic. It cost you your freedom. It cost, I don't know how many guys, 30 to 50 guys, their freedom, and probably a good dozen or so their lives for nothing, for nonsense, for greed. And that's how, organized crime goes nuts. There was no reason to do what he did. And as a result, a good guy like Nicky Black ends up in the funeral home. His guy,